Hi guys, I just wanted to share some things that have been on my mind. And this video is for mostly the women that are fertile, for all of the fertile women out there. So I know that a lot of people, a lot of women have babies and then they freak out. They want to start preventing. They're afraid they're going to get pregnant again. They go on birth control, or even them and their husbands are nervous because they think they might get pregnant right away, and so they hold off on being intimate. And I just want to give you guys some reassurance and some peace of mind regarding this area. So, I first of all just want to make it clear that I believe in abstaining from intimacy after giving birth, the recommended guidelines of the Bible. So, the Bible does give us guidelines on how long to wait before you're intimate after you give birth. I believe it's around 4 weeks for boys, and I think 6 to 8 weeks for girls. It gives it in days, so just to be sure, go back in and look at that. So once you have already passed the timeline of the Bible, then and most women breastfeed. I haven't had that luxury or that honor with most of my babies. I will try for like the first 4 months, but my period usually comes back pretty quickly, which means I can get pregnant. But I just want to kill the stigma behind breastfeeding and fertility. There are obviously the majority of women don't usually get pregnant while they're breastfeeding. There's usually like a 2-year gap between each child when you're breastfeeding. But it isn't always true, and it doesn't mean that we're broken. So I have a few friends, I know several people that got pregnant while breastfeeding very quickly, and they breastfed around the clock. They didn't do anything different. So it is still possible. So all of that to say, I 100% believe that no matter if you're breastfeeding, no matter if you're not breastfeeding, no matter if you're fertile or infertile or whatever it is, that I believe that God works it all out as we give it to Him. It does take full surrender and complete trust in Him. But I believe that it is all in God's timing and God's control. So if you've read some of my most recent posts, you'll know that we don't do any natural family planning or anything like that. I don't even know when I ovulate. I choose not to know all of those things because I want God to have complete control. I don't want to get in my head, and I don't want to come in and plan any babies. I just want God to do it in His own timing. That being said, this little sweet chunk right here, say hi. Hi. She's 8 months old, and I'm still not pregnant. Now, scientifically, there's no reason for this, other than I'm getting older. But I should scientifically definitely be pregnant by now. And so it is a little bit hard to every month think that you might be and not be. But again, we are to trust God when we're not and when we are. I'll tell you, right after I had her, pretty much every month since I had her, I've thought that I was pregnant. So it gets hard when you seem to be late and then your period comes and you're not, and you get let down. So I'll tell you, today is one of those days where I woke up with very heavy period and I got sad, a little bit let down, but I have to remind myself that God knows better. I've given this to God, and it all works out in His timing. So, fertile women, don't be afraid. God could give you 2 years even while being fertile. God could give you a baby immediately, and we have to trust that all of that is in His plan. That these sweet little tiny cute things are such a blessing, and so don't be scared. If you end up being pregnant right after birth, after your waiting time, don't be scared. Fear not that it is in God's plan. If you're still waiting on a child, if you're still trying, fear not. God is in control when we give Him the control. So all of that to say, don't be afraid. Don't take things into your own hands. Don't go on birth control and all of that. Simply just trust God. He knows what he's doing. So that leads me to my next topic. I have been getting a few messages for a few years, but recently I got one that I have a fetish for having babies, that I'm obsessed with it and all of that stuff. And this is what I want to say about that. It is okay to have baby fever. It is God given. God has given us baby fever because this is a blessing. And when you keep having this, it is okay to keep wanting it. It is okay that you have desire to bear children. Please don't be ashamed of that and don't allow other people to shame you. Eating my hair. I do have a lot of people that say I'm spreading a dangerous message, and how dare you tell women that their value is in children, which I don't say, but that's just the message they get from my page, because motherhood's amazing and a gift from God and a calling that God's placed, I believe, on most women. But anyway, don't allow other women to shame you by telling you that you have a fetish for children, a fetish for being pregnant and all of that. These are desires the Lord has given us, and the world is very opposite and backwards. And let me tell you why. If somebody works hard, goes to college, gets a degree, gets an education, and works their butt off and works and works and works and works and gets 20 million, okay, sorry, I'm exaggerating, 20 brand new cars and mansions, and every year they upgrade, new phones and new this and new that, and they have all the newest clothes in their closet and all the red bottom heels. Nobody tells them they have a fetish for money. Nobody tells them that they are obsessing over riches and things of this world. No, they get praised. The world is so opposite God's ways. We praise things that are not of God, and we shame and condemn things that are from God. Life is from God. And while one day God will close my womb and my fertility will be over, remember, fertility isn't forever. It is to be loved and cherished and honored and even sought after while you're young. Don't allow people to shame you away from this. This is a gift from God, and you have all the rights to celebrate it, to enjoy it. Don't let people take your joy. That's what I'm here to say. If you find out you're pregnant, announce it with complete joy. Announce it with so much excitement, because that little life is from God, and it'll bring you so much joy. So please, guys, don't let the world shame you. Don't let the world tell you the lies of the enemy. Listen to the Lord. Live for him. Trust him. He will bring forth life in his time, in his will. We don't have to control it. We don't have to overthink it. We don't have to plan it. He is the greatest planner, and he knows what's best for us. So be encouraged, and I hope this was helpful to somebody. I hope that this takes some of your fear away, and that you can just rest that God has got you, and that he knows what he's doing. All right, guys. Anthem, say bye-bye. 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 Bye.